Good morning. Today we will see the multipackers in the last decade. I will just tell you about the which are the multipackers, and accordingly, if you are interested, you can just invest in it. So the some of the multipackers are Jyoti Resins, which rose by 469% in the last decade. Then Tanla Platforms, which rose by 376% in the last decade. Then there is Refex Industries, which rose by 366% in the last decade. And then there is KEI Industries, which rose by 363% in the last decade. Then there is JBM Auto, which rose by 355% in the last decade. Then there is Permanent Magnet, which rose by 275% in the last decade. Then there is Tanfac Industries, which rose by 272% in the last decade. Then there is Hindustan Foods, which rose by 173% in the last decade. Then there is Vidhi Specialty, which rose by 172% in the last decade. Then there is Finiotex Chemical, which rose by 156% in the last decade. Then there is Zen Technologies, which rose by 137% in the last decade. Then there is Uniminda, which rose by 136% in the last decade. Then there is Navin Fluorine, which rose by 134% in the last decade. And along with that, there is NGL Fine Chemicals, which rose by 131% in the last decade. Then there is Stylam Industries, which rose by 130% in the last decade. Then there is Apollo Tubes, APL Apollo Tubes, which rose by 121% in the last decade. Then there is Tasty Bite Eatables, which comes in the foods and beverage industries, which rose by 120% in the last decade. Then there is Electra, which rose by 120% in the last decade. Then there is RACL Gear Tech, which rose by 118% in the last decade. And finally, there is Arman Financial, which rose by 117% in the last decade. These are some of the companies, multipacker companies, which rose by more than 100% in the last decade. So accordingly, you can just visit their websites, see their financials, and if you are interested, you can accordingly invest in it. Thanks.